I think coming into Tokyo, there were many, many, many expectations for both Simone Biles and the U.S. women's gymnastics team. But in that long list, I don't think anyone expected what happened during the team final. We're used to seeing her be superhuman. And in this case, she showed that she is very human. She is no different than the rest of us. As stunning as that was, I think it sends a very, very powerful message that if you are not okay, it's okay to not be okay. Simone had referenced the day before the team final that she was feeling like she had the weight of the world on her shoulders. And that's not just a throwaway statement, especially in a sport like gymnastics. We saw in the warm-up for vault that she was bailing out on a vault that she can do most times 5 minutes after she gets out of bed. This is not a sport. If you are not in a good headspace, if you are not okay, you don't just finish last. You don't just look really slow. If you do a skill wrong in gymnastics, you could land on your neck. When she did the vault in competition, you saw her land really, really low. So this is not just I'm having a bad day. This is, I'm not in a good space. And if I'm not in a good space, I could cause severe physical damage to myself.
I just felt like it would be a little bit better to take a back seat, work on my mindfulness, and I knew that the girls would do an absolutely great job, and I didn't want to risk the team a medal for kind of my screw-ups because they've worked way too hard for that.
Simone seemed as if she recognized that she did the right thing. She seemed okay with that, but at the same time, she also made a couple references to she hadn't done her job, that she had not earned this medal, that this was all her teammates' medal. And to me, that's concerning because she has been the motivation for all of these gymnasts over the last 8 years. She trains with Jordan Childs on a day-to-day basis, but she's the gold standard for all of these women. We're evolving in our discussions about mental health, and I think there's more of a recognition that it is just as important as a physical injury, as your mental health is as important as your physical health. We've had a couple of very high-profile Olympic athletes talk about mental health, talk about the toll that this kind of insular training and insular focus takes on athletes. I also think too, and she said this in the mix zone, that given everything that's happened in the last year, she's not surprised at how this played out.
It's been a long Olympic process. It's been a long year. So just a lot of different variables, and I think we're just a little bit too stressed out.
And I think there's been, because of COVID, because of the way that our lives have changed, I think people are recognizing that there is a mental health component to that. Simone is a 4-time Olympic champion. There are people who compete in the Olympics who don't get any medal. To say that this spoils her legacy or raises any question about her legacy is absolutely absurd. She is the greatest gymnast of all time, and this does nothing to change that.